can use. There is going to be a follow-up video
Well, here we are, and we're going to be starting our. Let me go here first. Going to be starting our stream. We have about 10 minutes, I think. Let me double check that. 16 minutes until launch this time. 16 minutes until launch, and so we've tried several times, and we haven't yet been able to see the launch. This time I'm believing for good things. Let me get something going here. X launch 3. Hopefully, it'll post properly this time. I think I found all the problems. Yep, looks like it is. And we also have our little guys walking across there. I'm working on getting the emotes working. I don't know if any are really actually working or not, but and the donations, don't forget donations. It says no donations yet, but you can always support the channels through following and liking and commenting. That's really a big help. I mean, it costs nothing, and it's giant help, especially on the YouTube channels. As much as, and when you start watching it, watch it through to the end so that the click-through rate isn't so bad. And watch the new videos that come out. I have 3 channels, 4 actually, 4 channels. One is all ministry, so it's not monetized because I don't believe in monetizing the gospel. So, but all the rest are, I'm working towards monetize, or you can catch me on Twitch. Last night I had a really good time on Twitch, not streaming, just looking at other people's channels. There was a couple playing bluegrass, couple of brothers playing bluegrass out of from Tahiti, and the Floggy Bottom Boys or something like that. But they were really fun to watch. They had a 3-hour show every Monday night, I guess, and it's worth watching because I don't know about you, but I enjoy live music, not pre-recorded music. It's all live, instant. I enjoy that, and I like to watch art, and science. I like science. I like art, and so that's what my channels are about, and health, of course. And so I have Jeffrey Curtis music, which is all music and music production and stuff like that. And then I have Teacher to Creator, which is all science based and education based. And then I have the Transformation channel, which is all health based stuff. So either one of those would be great. If you could follow them, like them, whatever, that'd be big help. Of course, if you go below any of the videos, you'll see places to give or whatever, and links to my music, whatever you're looking for. If you don't find what you're looking for, send me a comment, send me an email, something, and I'll try to get it to you. All right. So, this is my Twitch screen that you're seeing right here for chatting. And that's what we're using today as we go on. All right. I'm going to switch the camera over to the countdown here. We have 12 minutes before the launch right now. Then we're going to believe that it's going to go this time. Let's go ahead and look at, let's see if we can get to I'm still on yesterday's thing, I think. Here, let me refresh. Says their broadcast will begin shortly. They are so tired of it not working. I guess that they have. Oh, here it is. Here's theirs. And let me go to this one. This was, I guess they used a different, well, what's going on there? It's interesting, huh? It's NASA's view. And they're the only one that is actually live currently. Oh, well, they're not. Let me double check that. No, no. All right, let's look at NASA's view as we get ready.
The 13 definitely not hovering above the goal. Booster 13 is inside of the goal. From Starship Flight 6. Oh, I did the big. Can you tell this is the third launch attempt that we've done live streaming at this point? Anyways, as we can see from SpaceX there in the top right, green, 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 weather green, range green.
Everything looks good.
T-minus 10.5 minutes. This is so much better than it was looking yesterday. And, well,
Is chat also green? That's chat, are you green?
that'll be.
Also chatting.
Yeah, go ahead and chat if you have something to say.
In there. Or if you're gifted a
Look there, chat. It's going wild. That's great. I'd like to see some of that activity on my chats. That'd be awesome. You know, they got all kinds of emotes happening there. And I don't have all my emotes set up yet, but I'll get them set up. I didn't even know what an emote was. What can I say? Let's, here's Felix at What About It? Let's see what that's going on there.
What we have on deck for flight 10, which is just about 11 minutes, 40 seconds from launching.
That's right. And so just a quick status check-in. So as you said, we're about 11.5 minutes away. We have some good news. We got our latest range and weather status, and surprise, everything is looking green today. So that is the biggest news that we were looking for. Again, weather is the main watch item for today, but we are.
What's going on there?
Later. So let's just prove that we can get there. And so we're just going to focus on learning as much as possible, looking at all of those different phases, you know, prop load, prop transfer out orbit, sending stuff out to Mars, doing the transit, doing the entry.
So it looks like we're green across the board today. And that's very good.
For the entry, where we'll
So here's what we'll be doing.
missing tiles, metallic tiles, and intentionally loading the vehicle's flaps. Ship will also attempt a slip maneuver, and if all goes as planned today, we'll conclude the test with a saltwater splashdown in the Indian Ocean. So that's what we have on deck for Flight 10, which is just about 11 minutes, 40 seconds from launching.
That's right. And so just a quick status check-in. So as you said, we're about 11.5 minutes away. We have some good news. We got our latest weather status.
We already just heard that. These guys are behind. I don't know why that one's behind. I'll try to rush it up. And 8 minutes, actually, for launching 8 minutes, not 11 like that one just said. We're down to 8 minutes till launch. And looks like we have no special news is coming about it. And so let's go back here to the main NASA site and see what they're saying.
Rise, when the Raptors are getting ready, when the deluge systems build up, there's a lot of moving parts in that particular segment. So that is really another crunch time for them, where they have to execute perfectly, or the vehicle has to execute perfectly, because at that point in time, the vehicle is, of course, in full charge. But if they clear this, and they have done it before, then I think we are on a good track to see a Starship launch in.
So it looks good anyway. I can see that my sorry about that. My stuff was turned around. I'm sure that made a difference in how it sounded. And I noticed that it doesn't seem to be working properly as far as the output here. Oh, you know what? I have to switch it. It's my bad. I'm always doing that. Let's see how that sounds now.
campaign, that is. So hopefully everybody
All
in
right.
chat still hyped, still
That means I
looking
have to
forward
put on my
for a launch
headphones.
of Starship Flight 10. For those of you just joining us, welcome to NSS live stream. We have over 30 live cameras dotted around Starbase.
From our permanent sites to our deployable rigs, from Das and Jack on the roof of the Margaritaville Beach Resort on South Padre Island, we have Max, we have D doing some live streaming from the Rocket Ranch outpost down at the edge of the exclusion zone. We have so many other members of the team in photography helping.
So now we got your audio working properly. Sorry about that. And we're going from there. And let's go back here for a second. Where are we at? 6 minutes to launch. 6 minutes. 6 minutes to launch. And here's Felix's.
Gigabay will be capable of housing multiple starships simultaneously for rapid assembly and integration. And meanwhile, at Launch Complex 39A, we're building Starship's infrastructure to support up to 44 launches and up to 88 landings a year, independent of operations at Pad 37. So with 2 launch complexes in Florida, we'll have the ability to fly up to 120 starships annually, not including our flights from Starbase. So action is well underway in Florida. How's it looking in Texas?
Thanks, Tyler. Things are continuing to look good for launch here in Texas, so getting pretty close here with just under 6 minutes left. You mentioned Gigabay. We're currently laying the foundation for a Gigabay here at Starbase as well, and we expect it to be up and running sometime next year. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of starships on the way, and we're going to need more hands on deck. So come help us build the gateway to Mars. Visit spacex.com/careers to see all of our openings.
I should go work for him.
Been here for a couple of years now. Nowhere more magical, more inspirational on the planet. If you're a space nerd, you can come be like Amanda and build these things for real. It's pretty insane. It's super exciting. And yeah, come check us out. All right.
Absolutely. It's surreal to be here for sure. Okay, so we are looking like we're about 5 minutes away.
5 minutes. 5 minutes. And then we'll be launching in 5 minutes. We have all these people. This is Lab Predator. I don't know how to say that actually. Lab Pader. Lab Padre. I got it. Lab Padre. Right, so they have several views right here of what we're watching, live feeds, and that's why I have this open for you so you can see the live feeds from several angles there. And we'll go ahead and turn them on, see if they're saying.
So anyways, I'm going to head out now, guys, and start the tracking procedures out here. And we got T-minus 4.5 minutes, so let's keep our fingers crossed.
All right, and while we have a few more minutes left, I will go ahead and work through a couple other super chats we got. We got $20 from Bill Anderson saying, great work, glad to watch with you guys. Glad to have you supporting us, Bill. And then we also got a $5 donation from Perpetual Nerd, veteran of the channel here, saying, thanks for the coverage, Lab and company. Thank you guys for the extended support. Just 4 minutes away now.
4 minutes. 4 minutes.
Yeah, definitely. That support goes a long way to helping keep the channel running. You know, having all the cameras everywhere is definitely takes some upkeep
shortly
and,
after T0.
You know,
and once
all
we
the
pass
stuff on
that
the back end as well too. So definitely appreciate all of your support. And again, thanks to everybody who's donated so far today. And I think with Lab being out there, we're gonna have some pretty good tracking views. I wonder if, I don't know if from that view, if he will be able to see the ocean landing of the booster or not, but I'm sure he's going to make an attempt. I think it actually requires him to like look over the actual viewing box that the production studio is in. So we'll see how that turns out. As much as I would love to try and do that with a rover cam, there's no way I'm going to be that smooth at tracking, but I will at least attempt to track it on its way up. It's probably gonna be bad, but we're gonna try it. We'll keep Lab as the main view because I'm sure he's gonna do way better than I will on that. It's a lot easier when you have a joystick instead of using a mouse, but you know, do the best we can on that.
We make do.
Yeah, right now we do see
10 seconds. That doesn't turn off
the vent on the tower, which is an indication that they have finished propellant loading on the ship.
Down to 2 minutes now. 2 minutes.
Type SpaceX back here in.
At this point, We're not sure if we'd be able to attempt tomorrow because we have fully loaded the vehicle. We have to do a lot of fancy scheduling to get propellant in here as fast as possible. But again, we've got a pretty heroic and amazing team that works all of those logistics, got us into our attempt today after we did a unplanned wet dress yesterday during our attempt.
Affords us a lot more flexibility, so super useful to be able to have that. But again, not currently tracking any issues, so hopefully we'll be good to launch today.
All right, coming up on 90 seconds. We've got a pretty good crowd gathering with us right outside Star Factory here at
what a shot
Starbase.
that is.
Beautiful.
Looks like we're getting a quick TV.
Look at that shot. That's way cool, huh? See all the engines ready to go. That's a cool shot.
All right,
all
so we've got crowds gathered out at Hawthorne, crowds gathered here at Starbase.
1 minute.
Super fun to see people getting to watch out on the front lawn now.
Let's get that hype train going. 1 minute. 1 minute to go.
1 minute to go to launch.
1 minute to go. Here we go. And we're looking forward. Here's the NASA feed. I like that. That's a pretty nice shot.
Any moment now. T-minus 20 seconds. Here it comes. Stand by for the deluge.
Let's go ahead for the... I'm going to get rid of some of this stuff so we can see it better.
We are go for launch. There's the deluge. Here's ignition.
There it is. Woo! Loud. There it goes. We got all of the engines firing. None of them are not firing. Got everything. We're 30 seconds in. We're almost to max Q already. That's the place of the heaviest force on the rocket. 43 seconds, 45 seconds into it here. This is the...
We are 60 seconds into flight. Starship is well and truly off and away. Vapor cone! Oh my goodness! Look at that live shot of Starship ascending into space. We are 33 engines for 33 engines on the Super Heavy booster. We are headed to hot staging.
Amazing.
And look at
that was stunning.
It took them 1 minute to get to space.
And we're getting the onboard views of that beautiful vapor cone. The expansion of the exhaust is now starting. We're seeing the pink and purple hues of the Raptor engines. Alex, how was that from your point of view, the first 90 seconds of flight?
It's going well. That was an amazing vapor cone as Starship was just punching through the atmosphere, getting into space.
Here, let's
so
see
far,
if we
so
can
good.
see that vapor cone a little bit better.
It looks like
Starship
it got one engine out now.
Have they lost an ship? Is well and
There it
truly
is.
off and away. Vapor cone! Oh my goodness! Look at that live shot of Starship ascending into space. We are 33 engines for 33 engines on the Super Heavy booster. We are headed to hot staging.
All right, we actually got the launch going on now. We're not quite to max Q according to that, but let's go back to this one. According to this, we passed max Q, so those other ones are way behind. And here's where they're at. They're almost a stage separation. Almost a stage separation.
Have they lost an engine? So we're now 32 for 33 engines. Alex, whereabouts is that engine on the booster? Is that one of the center or one of the boosts?
On the middle ring of 10.
Let's see. Let's go back and look. I don't see anything lost. Oh, there goes the hot staging right now. It just broke away. Looks like we got all the engines in hot staging. We did lose one out in the middle ring right there. One engine in the middle ring right there we lost. But that shouldn't affect it too much. What's that though? Oh, that's coming out of that port right there, but this shouldn't be It shouldn't be, maybe that's just for navigation. Let's hope so. Everything looks like it's still in control. We have the booster has just the 3 middle engines on now, and then the spaceship with all of them on. Let's go over to one of the other views. Listen to what they're saying.
Towards its splashdown site in the Gulf. We are seeing all 6 Raptors lit up on ship. You heard them report ship chamber pressures nominal, so that chamber pressure, just that expected thrust level in those Raptor engines on the ship. 3 vacuum optimized, 3 sea level,
So
looking good.
Ship pressure is nominal, so that off venting is normal, evidently. I'm seeing some gases and stuff right in here, though.
I'm seeing some venting coming from the top of the
There's a view
skirt
into
again,
the business
but
end from the ship.
I'm assuming that's probably intended at this point since it's happened twice in a row.
Looks like we got boost back shut down.
All right, so at this point, we finished our boost back burn, so that was shut down. So that's the first of the 2 burns after a launch that the booster's going to do today. So now it's headed towards the Gulf. It's not going to be quite as an aggressive of a flight down. We relaxed that angle of attack a little bit, but we are then going to be looking for it to do its engine tests for the landing burn, and those are going to be a little unique this time.
Yeah, typically we start with all 13 inner engines lit for that landing burn and bring that down to just the center 3.
Let's go over to Y, see what's going on.
All right.
Starship flying on the expected path.
8,000.
There's still a chance that engine could be back in the mix for the very start of the landing burn, so we'll see if we light up all 13.
Looks so far
we've
the
even
ship
done a
is
landing
looking
burn
good.
at the tower with an engine out, so very resilient. We'll see how it does on its way down to the Gulf, though.
Gaining massive speed now again, getting very, very hot at the bottom in the engine section.
We can see.
So we got a couple of minutes.
It has
that
endured quite a
landing
bit of
burn
heat.
start should be just about 40 seconds away.
If you're moving through thick atmosphere at 4,000 kilometers per hour, you are getting hot.
That's always rad. You can see the
You see the fire between the engines there? That is the heat from re-entry
plume
on the
itself
booster.
in the background as it was coming in.
Here it comes.
Beautiful shot.
Right,
Look
about
at
20
that tracking
seconds to
from the
landing
ground
burn.
team.
Still got one
Come on,
engine
man,
out.
the ship is still going. Come on, come on.
Ship Raptor chamber pressure is nominal.
Good. Thank you.
Okay, we got one,
All right,
2
let's see how
engines
many
out.
engines light up. Oh, this is so
this
exciting.
is the test.
Here we go.
This was the test.
Landing burn
All
start.
right. Yep. No, that was a permanent out. Okay. Still, no problem.
Looks like we got 12
Yep.
of
And
those
there's the
13.
test. As I told you, the middle engine ring is
Down to
planned.
3, including one of the middle ring.
Very good. And it looks very nice. Look at this. Hovering between the virtual chopsticks, as I told you in the beginning.
Down to
it
2.
thinks it's landing on a tower.
Nice little hover.
And it's dropping.
And landing burn shut down.
What's happening?
And into the Gulf. Here we
What is
come.
happening right now?
And the booster
I don't have
has
the
splashed down.
connection.
Incredible
There it is.
flight
It's
for
hovering
booster
right
today.
there. Did you see it?
Meanwhile, back in space, about 7 minutes into today's flight, ship continuing its ascent burn. This goes until just
I don't know
about
what happened
9
here right now,
minutes
but I
into
was
our
just
flight.
gone
That
for a
ship
second, I'm
engine
sorry.
cutoff is slated for 8
How
minutes
did the
and
booster land?
57 seconds. We are
We'll
going to
see it
see
land right here.
those 3 RVAC,
all
the
the way
Raptor
in.
vacuum engines. Those are the bigger circles
good.
in that little indicator on the bottom right of your screen. Those will shut down first, and we can.
And so far, everything is nominal, which means that it's good. And we see that they did the test of the, in case they lost one of the inner engines, they replaced it with an outer ring engine or a middle ring engine, and that was intentional. And so that worked. I mean, that actually looked really good. That return, none of the fins caught on fire. nothing, right? That was probably the best we've seen in a long time. Of course, we had 3 explosions, 2 in space and 1 at the launch site. So, for the last 3 tries. So, this time we're looking right now for the next thing that's going to happen. We're still seeing this venting right here. I see it's coming right out of that point, that port right there. You see where my icon is? There it is venting from right there. And I guess that is normal. Now it just quit venting. There's a light up, right? They just see what's going on. You got any
We shut down those center 3. Successful ship engine cutoff.
Seco, baby. There we go. That's what we want.
Nominal orbit insertion.
All right, we just heard the call out for nominal orbital insertion.
all right.
All
That's
right,
already
so
further.
ship is in space. There we go. We're seeing the flaps starting to move into a stowed position. That's why it looks like your camera's moving.
Yeah, exciting to see Starship safely in space, and super pumped to see all the team's hard work in action here today. And of course, as guaranteed, it's been an exciting day so far. We successfully lifted off right on time at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Thankfully, our weather was looking good today. Yeah, and
Look, they got some test areas here. They're just testing the covering. See which one. What was that?
Complete its ascent burn all the way in. You can see some of the shadows start to creep as it's going to be eventually flying into an orbital nighttime. So we'll see some daylight start to go away. But ship is in orbit, completed its burn, and
That looks like
I mean,
some
that's just
kind
the
of
beginning.
fire right there.
Now we've got a whole bunch more to
On the
go.
Earth.
So we've got some exciting demonstrations
Ship
planned
FPS is
while
safe.
we're on orbit. So that right there, we just saved the FTS, the flight termination system. That's that automatic flight safety system we have on the vehicle. So that is now turned off while ship starts its coast period. We are coming up, our next milestone is going to be the deployment of those Starlink simulators. We've got some payload inside of Starship that
Now we haven't yet been able to do that. I say we. Here's another picture of this. Are those fires? Those look like fires and big ones right there. Man, we can see them from space. I'm not sure what continent that is. But there's definitely some big fires down there on the ground. That's interesting. But we can see right here, we have they're testing different materials and stuff for the tiles. And next at 729 minus 729 is going to be the payload deployment, which is coming up. So let's go back for a second or two, and we'll listen to one of the other commentaries for a second.
flight. So just about 7 minutes from now, that deploy will take place over a couple of minutes. It'll go about 1 satellite a minute. So we'll be spread out over that. It might get a little dark, but we've got a couple of views that we can show you to see that deploy in action. After that, we're also looking to do a relight of a single Raptor engine while we are in space. We've done this once before. This is not necessary to deorbit, as we are in a suborbital trajectory.
Well, that shows a lot of weird
but
stuff up there,
this
right?
is essentially a chance to test out what we need to be
Is
able
that
to
stuff
do a
flying off
deorbit
of there?
burn.
Did you see that?
So we'll be doing that a little bit later in
More.
the flight, about 37
See
minutes
that?
or so into the flight. And then we get into reentry.
Wow,
We're
all that ice breaking
looking
off.
to get that light
That's
show
what it
and
is, ice.
more importantly, get that really critical data about the ship's heat shield.
yeah, exactly. At about T plus 45 minutes, we'll be heading for reentry. Again, running those experiments with the tiles. We're going to be doing missing tiles, metallic tiles, and also intentionally loading those vehicles' flaps. Hopefully, we'll also see a splashdown in the Indian Ocean today.
Yeah, we were able to get to a reentry.
Just go over to Y. See what they're saying.
Full orbital mission to
The
then
same
do
feed
re-entries
on all
a little
three.
bit later on. So really critical to get that data. Really looking forward to a controlled re-entry.
Yeah, for sure. As we always say, our main payload is data, but today we also have some actual payload on board, and those simulators that Starship will be deploying, we'll see coming up here in just a few minutes. These are dummy satellites that are about the same size as our V3 Starlinks. We have 8 in the Starship PEZ dispenser and expect to deploy at a rate of about 1 per minute, as Dan mentioned earlier. Starlink is critical in all of our flights on Starship to get our main payload data, as we always say. And in fact, it's Starlink that's currently providing these views you see as Starship cruises a couple hundred kilometers above our home planet and provides real-time telemetry through every phase of flight.
Yeah, we took a peek inside of the Starship payload bay there for a second. So there's 8 of them there. They kind of look just big steel plates, essentially. They're roughly the same size as those V3 satellites. When we do get that view inside of the payload bay, the payload door will kind of be on your right, and we'll start to see them go out like a PEZ dispenser. Yeah, here's a look inside. So those right down there in the center, they're kind of 2 stacks of 4 on either side, and then the payload door is just to their right. And so we'll look to see that open, and then those satellites start to go. We vent the nose cone, so we essentially bring it down to vacuum before we open the door. That was one of the things we ran into on the last flight, as when we had that fuel diffuser fail, the pressure in the nose cone became basically too high for the actuator of the door to open. So that's why we weren't able to get the door open that time. We have not seen anything like that on this flight. Everything's looking good with our fuel tank and our fuel press system. So we are hopefully just a couple of minutes away from seeing
It's kind of
that
smoky.
payload door
Something's in
open
there.
and getting to our first ever payload. It's not the first
Could
payload
compensate
we've
from,
ever carried,
renting.
but it's the first one we're going to try and shoot off into space.
It's never been able to open yet. We've tried several different times now. It either gets stuck or it doesn't function or something, right? Each time. Of course, we're way past what we did the last 3 attempts now, right? We had 2 of them blow up in space. It hasn't made it back yet. And we're actually getting to the critical point. If they were able to deploy the dummy satellites, that's the furthest that they've been able to go on any of these test flights. That's sort of like the earmark right there, you know?
Payloads out.
Look at this show. We're 2 minutes away.
2 minutes.
Payload deploy sequence start. So this is the furthest a Starship has gone in a long time. Everything looks nominal.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. I can't let him keep talking because then I get in trouble for copyright. Only about a little bit at a time, so I can switch back and forth. So
kind of a cool light show, and then we'll get ready to deploy those payloads out.
Alrighty, moment of truth for all the door haters.
Can the company that designs fully reusable rockets build a door?
I'm feeling good about this one.
Okay, we're almost there now.
And as we mentioned, so we have crossed over now at this point into an orbital nighttime. So views from the outside will get pretty dark, but we'll see what we can see. We do this by design. We've been launching these later in the day here in Texas to try and get daytime views when we splash down. So it's daytime over in the Indian Ocean, where we are currently headed.
Just a few seconds
It
until
does
we
look
expect
like
those
the
payload
rotation
doors
has
to open.
stopped.
What?
Just note that.
All right, one more time. Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
And there it goes.
It's working.
Uh-oh. Is it coming up? That looks good right there.
I
It's
believe
working.
it's PEZ time.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
It's working.
So we are currently in payload deploy prep. And the door is open.
Yes.
So right there, we just made history. That's the first time they've ever gotten that
so
far.
The payload door is open. We should see the first satellite start to deploy at about T plus 18 minutes and 27 seconds. So should be only about
we're already
30
past
seconds.
that.
So one step closer. Hal listened this time. He cooperated. He opened the payload door for us. There's a view kind of behind the Pez. You're looking out
Can we
into
see the
vacuum of
diffuser?
Space.
About 15 seconds until payload deploy.
All right, here goes.
Oh, don't do this, Starlink.
We're not seeing them actually get deployed, though.
All right, I think it's
Ship is
27
transitioned to
seconds is when I'm
payload
supposed
deploy.
to see the first one. Uh-oh.
I don't think it's deploying. Oh, wait, it's gone.
Oh, man. Come on now. Come on.
It's moving. There it goes. It's moving. There it goes.
Well,
We're the first stream to get it out there. Look at this. This is amazing. I don't know why my stream is so much faster than everybody else's. There it is. We got it.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
there we go.
It's amazing. I got to be the first one out of all my competition to report that it was moving and being deployed. That's amazing. And there it goes. Let's rewatch it. It's going. We get to watch it 3 times. I wish we could see outside, but it's so dark that we can't see it actually deploy. Now, these are designed to go ahead and just burn up in the atmosphere as they come back. So now we can see that it's empty. The bay is empty. And now it's deploying the second bay. There it goes. It's deploying. Uh-oh, it stopped. It's backing up. What happened? Maybe it deployed it and I didn't see it. No, they're going for a second attempt. Here it goes. There it goes. Deploying through. And there it is. Wow, it made it. That's 2. They got what, 1, 2, 3, 4 more to go. That's amazing. Let's see what they're saying here. We're getting a little bit of. We see the whole system lowering. Amazing that I'm ahead of everybody else. That's way cool too. And I'm on a microwave internet system. I don't know. Yay for SucceedNet, I guess.
All right, so we're about halfway through. When we actually start launching the V3 Starlinks on Starship, we're going to be flying about 60 each time. So it'll be about an hour to get through a full stack. But again, it's just going to be a massive increase in the amount of bandwidth. It's going to enable, gigabit upload download for people with Starlink, anywhere on the planet. And for us, Starlink is just a tremendous part of just the Starship flight test program.
Yeah, absolutely. Always getting us that data.
They're using chains. See that?
Yeah, the amazing views we have on the vehicle today.
Yeah, views brought to you by Starlink of us deploying Starlink simulators before we deploy actual Starlink.
Number 4 deploying now, and it's amazing. Look at the old technology that they put in there, chain and sprocket. Chain and sprocket. I guess if it works, why change it? So that's 4 deployed now, 4 of them. Let's see how many more we can get. Well, they got 4 or 5, they got 8 of them to deploy, huh?
Pez looking smooth today.
Yeah, it is. This is history in the making right here. And this is Teacher to Creator, the Pulse video series.
All right, looks like we've got 1 left.
Almost
One
there.
left. 1 left to go.
Yeah, there you go. 1 remaining, so 7 of the 8 have been deployed. 1 more to go. And then we will have completed our first ever payload deploy operation. Just a reminder, we're on a suborbital trajectory. These satellites on that exact same suborbital trajectory, they're going to burn up entirely and are on that same trajectory towards the Indian Ocean. So the last one has been deployed. Starlink.
So that is history right there. We had all 8 of the Starlink dummy satellites deployed without a hitch. And that is great news right there. All 8 deployed without a hitch. And this one's still showing 1 in it. This one, that's because this is not NASA. I mean, this is NASA's link. They're so far behind that they're just now, they have a lot of servers or whatever, right? I got low overhead. I'm able to restream a lot faster. All right, so we see the satellites.
To re-entry, which is going to be really critical. We use Starlink for Starship data. Cameras also use it on the cameras that we use to bring you views of these launches and also, hopefully, of the re-entry and splashdown. We'll see what we get from the Indian Ocean today. And that's just kind of how it all comes together. Like, we're using Starlink on the planet, off the planet. With Starship, we actually get pretty insane. If you're in the space industry, you know bandwidth to space is usually pretty minimal. We get about 120 megabits per second. That's split between our high-definition video and real-time telemetry. We get that every phase of flight, including re-entry. So it's not just giving us views of re-entry, but we're getting all of that engineering data in real time through phases that it used to be impossible to get that in real time. So just really incredible.
Yeah, Starlink definitely affords us all this capability. And reminder, it's the world's largest satellite constellation operating in low Earth orbit to deliver high-speed, low-latency broadband internet. This provides internet access to people all around the world, many of whom had never had connectivity before. Today, Starlink serves more than 150 countries, territories, and other markets with over 6 million active customers and counting. To meet the growing global demand for high-speed internet, SpaceX expanded its factory in Bastrop, Texas, and also introduced Starlink Mini, as well as an upgraded version of the Starlink Standard kit.
All right, now with payload deploy complete, Starship is now going to close its payload bay door and continue to coast towards Earth, around Earth, towards the Indian Ocean. Sorry, I'm really excited today. We are in space, people. Still a lot of major events to come, though. We are looking to relight one of those Raptor engines at about 37 minutes, 33 seconds into the flight, followed by atmospheric entry, hell of a light show, and splashdown. So we're going to go on a quick break, take a quick coast, sit back, enjoy the views. A little bit dark now, but they'll get better soon. A couple of space jams. We'll be back in just a few minutes for that Raptor relight and then re-entry. See you soon.
So they got it closed. They have it all closed, and they're working. And they're getting ready. Too bad we're not going to be catching anything today. I'd like to see if anybody gets a picture or a camera image of the fake satellites coming back in and burning up. That would be really cool. You can get a hold of me and let me post it on my show. And we'd like to be able to have that stuff. I can't pay you, but you'll get your name out there for posting it. But so let's see what they're saying on Felix's station for a second.
Is finished. So first of all, there's my question for how are you enjoying the show so far? Is this 10 out of 10? I am so happy that this thing did just do the deploy sequence. We're at 49,000 people still watching right now. We've already dropped by 3,000. If you do not drop yet. We've seen the payload deploy, and it is getting later in Europe, but this is worth it because now we're going to see the re-entry footage, and it's absolutely incredible every time. So you do not want to miss this. Do not go away. You're making a mistake if you do. That said, if you're staying here, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel. It is immensely important to us. All of the things that you see, the Starbase cameras, our episodes, all of this is funded partly by you guys. And click the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you want to become a patron, a channel member, it helps us greatly. Thank you so much. I'm going to cut it short here because
same goes for Teacher to Creator or Jeffrey Curtis Music or Transformation Channel or me on Rumble, which is Vlogtastrophe, and then Jeffrey Curtis on Twitch. Whichever one that you enjoy my shows on, please show your support somehow, whether it's through commenting or liking or subscribing or whatever you can do. And of course, if you really want to help other ways, I have all those sites. Just check any of my videos, recent videos in the description, and you'll see in that area link that you can help me out. All right, so that would be really good. We still have about 10 minutes or so before we have anything to show you other than this. So I'm gonna let these guys talk for a second again.
The way, that's our camera right now on the ground showing the pad. Do you know why everybody stared at these barbecue grills? It's because it was a barbecue grill first. No barbecue grill has ever been dispensed to a pest dispenser in space. And that's exactly what this comes down to. Almost on every flight that works, I got to say that at this point because a few didn't recently, but every flight that works gives you firsts. Firsts in human history, firsts in spaceflight history, and every one of those little steps gets us closer to those moon and Mars landings, and that is what I'm looking forward to the most. Imagine in a few years sitting here with us again and watching them touch down on the moon or on Mars or whatever all these crazy plans that they still have. And this was very, very important because it gets Starship into the revenue. It gets Starship to its first real use payload, the V3 Starlink satellites, and you heard it, 60 gigabit of capacity added on each flight, which is 20 times of what they're doing on a Falcon 9. So if you're launching 5 or 7, if you're launching 7 Starships with stacks of V3 Starlink satellites per year, you will have exactly the same capacity added as with 150 or so Falcon 9 launches. It's absolutely incredible. The expansion of capabilities for SpaceX here is immense. It's unprecedented, and it was beautiful to watch.
Absolutely,
yeah, it was.
Absolutely sure.
And there was the one big step now towards seeing that thing on regular flights because it just did its purpose.
And Block 2 did it. Block 2 did its purpose, meaning that Block 3 is going to be even more capable and even better and even crazier and even more.
Now remember, Block 2. This is actually the most success that we've had with Block 2. Right now on this flight. We had Block 1, it was working, right? It went up, it came back, both the ship and the booster both landed, and we caught stuff, right? and then we what was it? Flight 8 went up, and the booster came back, but the ship blew up. Flight 9, the booster came back and then blew up, and the ship blew up before it came back. And then the first attempt on flight 10, don't forget that it blew up at the site, right? It filled up and went kaboom, it destroyed. Oh no, it wasn't actually trying to fly. It was on the test thing, and it blew up there before it even got built, and it was being tested, and it blew up there. So they had to rebuild, get two different things, and then it went through the tests and everything. They had to remanufacture the testing area and actually put it on the OLM, right? So they had to make it that way so they could get this flight to work, and it went through the test. Then they were able to put it on there, and then the third try to get it up in the air, and we got it up in the air, and the booster made it back without even a hint of anything wrong except for the one engine failure. We had the one engine failure. The ship, we just had the Pez dispenser work. It put 8 dummy satellites out into orbit, and if you see those come in and burn up anywhere, please send me some footage of that. I'd love to have that footage. If not, I'll scour the internet and see where it's at and try to use it for my next show. And so now we're just waiting for the reignition, the test reignition. Let's see where they're at. Let me switch over to here really quick. They still got music going on in there. And here at NSF, what they got going on?
Looks like they are now doing engine chill. I'm seeing some of those vents going off for the engine chill. So that's good as well. It's really amazing. Again, as I said before, it went into space. It did its, almost orbital insertion, and then it deployed those Starlinks. Now it needs to demonstrate that it can come back, that it can do the orbit burn, and in the future, some Starlinks might be deployed into higher orbits. It'll need to relight the engines, right? In general, it'll need to do all of that sort of stuff. And we have now, look at that. Look at that. This is from Max, if I'm not mistaken, of that amazing vapor cone.
Yeah.
Yeah, holy vapor cone, as he would say. That was quite something to see on the vehicle's way uphill.
That's
and
this
if you
whole
want to
thing
get
that they're looking at there.
Put it on your wall, that specific moment in time, Max Evans can do just that for you. Available at shop.nasaspaceflight.com. One of 3 prints, I think, that are now on the store. There's probably more coming as well. So if you want to remember this launch, that is one way to do it. That is, I might have to pick that one up, because that is, I think, one of the coolest photos ever taken of Starship. Like, hands down. We've seen Starship launch 10 times now. I think that might be the prettiest. Adrian,
yeah,
if you wanna talk about your beloved store.
Yeah, sorry, I had to step away because we got that on. Lindsay is also working in the background, making sure we're getting like everything here ready.
So they're advertising their merch store, and what we got going on here. He's got something
from there. It's just it's just a half a second or 1 second of a boom versus 6 minutes of continuous rumbling.
Right.
Oh, it's re-entry, the breaking of the sound barrier they're talking about.
So we've been waiting to see that delayed response, so to speak, from 6 miles, 5.5 miles away at the Sapphire. We've looked at this before on Flight 4, I believe, which was much louder. I don't have that data to pull up right now, but that was the last time.
Well, that's not good. Up we don't see that, because that would mean that ship spinning. Saying debris. Let's go back here. Doesn't say it's spinning.
Raptor engines. Second time we've done that. Super exciting.
Nominal
Huge
orbit
congrats
insertion.
to the team on this milestone. Very exciting to see.
That was a cool light show. Yeah. I get to do a mini version here. So again, that's going to be really critical for when we're doing deorbit burns. Like as you're going through, which if you don't have one of these, my God, they're so much fun. But like you're able to actually like light, Dan, turn it on. Light that engine. Not set my co-host on fire. And that's what we'll eventually do to, break out of orbit, come back down to Earth. So really cool to see one of those engines light back up again in space. That was our last in-space thing.
Very exciting. We're going to be heading back for re-entry at about T plus 45 minutes.
So we missed it, evidently. And so did everybody else.
There we go. SpaceX Mission Control saying everything is normal with that ship. Wonderful live demonstration from Dan Hewitt here. But we can see that in-space relight complete over, I believe we're over South Africa right now. Starship is now heading towards the Indian Ocean. Can you believe it? Liftoff was 38 minutes ago. It feels...
It said Starzip, not Starship. So
that's part of the problem.
Can get this relay test done, then Starship's basically good for orbital ops, right? They can start deploying real Starlings.
Few seconds.
Potentially.
We want to see some light here.
A few seconds away.
Engine graphic?
All eyes on that engine graphic and on the live views from Ship 37 right now. We're expecting one Raptor sea level engine right now.
There we go.
There it goes.
Oh,
and
move.
shut down.
There it is.
Wow.
Let's go.
And
let's
go.
That looks good.
We confirmed the relight of one of those Center Raptor engines.
Who's directed to you? You photographers love spending money on cameras, and you can reinvest in your gear.
So we got the relight done, and now we're just going to be coming back, right? I don't understand why I'm seeing the light coming all over the place. Normally that means that
empty.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, right.
Maybe that was the test. I was wondering why they have tiles on the leeward side, because there's not that much heat there anyway. Maybe this was just a vibration test, an attachment test, something like that.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to do it in a critical position because that spot doesn't get that much heat. It doesn't need heat tiles. There's a reason why the leeward side of the flaps don't have heat tiles. So this might have been an attachment test.
And I mean, I would also guess that the flap gets a bit more vibration than the rest of the ship, right?
Yep.
That's a bit more loose.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't understand why I'm seeing
and you
this
can see
light.
it's the 3-pin connectors, so it's standard tiles. It could just be a connection test, because they, as I said, they don't get that much heat, so you're not going to much test the tiles themselves. So what are they testing?
We're coming over
might
to
be
the
just
Indian
that.
Ocean pretty quick.
More data, more info. It's SpaceX jerry rigging. It's stuff. It's the same as with the
SpaceX is jerry rigging. Okay, whatever. See here, this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing this light come, and it's not flashing like a bulb. That is consistent right there.
I think so. What are we, 6:37? It's I think that's the fastest they've ever opened it. Is it open all the way to the beach?
Yeah.
Wow, I
guess it makes sense when you're not catching the booster, like you're pretty much just cycling down the tank farm. So wait, what are we seeing right now? Is this the engine's still moving, or was that just a trick of the light that I was seeing?
I think that's just trick of the light.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're getting back into the daylight side. One of the cool things you can see is that vent that is in the back right there. It's actually appearing to vent out some of the remaining
venting
liquid
of the
oxygen.
gas,
So,
reflecting the light.
Purge the tanks, and
that's what I think we're seeing.
They also
off venting of the gas, reflecting the light.
So that's something
if
that
you
Elon
look, this
mentioned in the past, is that they
vent
don't
is
need the
blowing
tanks to be
every
as
once in a while,
pressurized
along
as
with
they
that
are
vent.
when they're re-entering. So
we're seeing those vents open and off vent gas, and when we see that, then that's when we see the light too. So I think what we're seeing is the gas refracting the light of the sun or whatever, and that's what we're seeing. And the official channel is now on pause, so
stone, and that is why we're in this suborbital trajectory today. It also is a really nicely timed flight. I don't know if SpaceX does this intentionally, but you know, it's almost perfect for the YouTube things, because it gives us something brand new to talk about every 20 minutes. I think people in chat are probably very happy about that. But look at these views from inside the engine bay. This is now being lit up by the
so gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, just I don't believe we've had this particular view at this point in flight before. So let's just stand by
and continue
watching.
Look at how clear it is.
Oh my goodness. Look at this around the flap. This is...
flap.
So cool. I'm so glad we get these views again. I'm so glad the ship appears to be in a stable orientation and attitude. This is exactly what we wanted to see at this point in flight. Now hopefully it gets into entry and can get through it. I hope so.
It's so clear. That's
we are keeping an eye on all of these things.
Yeah, quick mention. I want to quickly mention this. Just a minute. While you're ordering, our new collection designed by Jack is ready. Re-entry Redemption. There you can see it. All now available at shop.nowspace.com. You can see it on the top tab in the collections. Re-entry Redemption. Also on the Starship Flight Test collection. Stickers, shirts, everything available. Let's go back to the ship.
Biggest merch plug in human history. Back on board with Ship 37. This is one of the forward flaps, I believe. We can see that purple plasma now forming around the front of the vehicle.
So we can see the plasma now forming around the front of the vehicle. And this one is behind. There it is. And so this is the plasma of re-entry that we're starting to see. And everything is looking good.
Starting to re-enter the Earth's atmosphere. We're moving about 5 times the speed of sound, and we're about to start barreling through the Earth's atmosphere and head for a splashdown in the Indian Ocean. We don't plan to recover the spacecraft today, but if we do make it all the way down to the water, who knows? But the goal of this part of the flight is to learn as much as we can about the ship's heat shield. A fully reusable, rapidly reusable heat shield for a spacecraft has never been done before. It's one of kind of the hardest engineering challenges still out there for us. And so this is a time to really dig in and get that data.
Yeah, absolutely. And re-entry is a critical phase of flight, so we'll need information on how the ship's system end up performing. And Starlink will also help us gather as much data as possible, which is really the main reason why we do these flight tests. Starlink provides us with one more path to collect data to help us rapidly iterate on Starship's design. And if the ship manages to make it all the way to re-entry, we'll collect valuable data on the spacecraft flying through the Earth's atmosphere at hypersonic speeds, or more than 5 times the speed of sound.
Yeah, throughout history, a lot of times this is when you go into just a complete data and insight blackout, where that plasma sheath builds up around the outside of the spacecraft that blocks all of your signals that are trying to fight through to talk to either satellites out in space or towers down on the ground. Starship's big size kind of gives us awake, but what really helps us punch through is the fact that we're using Starlink. We're operating at just a much higher frequency. That's not what we want to see. So we just saw some of the aft skirt just take a hit. So we've got some visible damage on the aft skirt. We're continuing to re-enter though. And again, we are intentionally stressing the ship as we go through this. So it is not guaranteed to be a smooth ride down to the Indian Ocean. We've removed a bunch of tiles in kind of critical places across the vehicle. So seeing stuff like that is still valuable to us.
So
we are trying to kind of push this vehicle to the limits to learn what its limits are as we design our next version of Starship. So 47 minutes, 45 seconds into the flight, excitement ticking up a little bit on re-entry already, but the light show is continuing. This re-entry is going to take about 20 minutes or so. Until our planned splashdown.
That's all the plasma. That is quite a shot. That is really pretty. Look at that. I'm gonna use that shot in my next video, which I'll try to get done shortly after the flight. I have some work to do, and then I have my other live stream to do, and then it'll be late tonight before I get anything about the video done. But I see stuff actually falling apart right there. See it? You see it turning blue with the all of the burn away. Yeah, right there. See it looking right there. We're getting a whole bunch of stuff that is breaking off, but that plasma, that's super hot stuff. So that explains, and now they're using, oh yeah, look at the damage right here. We're seeing some major damage right here. And as it catches on fire and it's releasing oxygen, it turns blue. And so that plasma is burning up, release oxygen, turns blue. That's on the fin as it's going back down in. You know, that's always been a problem with all of them. We've had some problems with the fin and reentry. We're at 26,000 miles an hour, 76 kilometers in the air. It's about 30 miles, a little over, between 30 and 45 miles. I'm seeing some people in the chat besides me. That's pretty cool. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the little avatars. There's a whole bunch of chat commands too. I don't have the emotes up. I apologize for that. There's some stock ones in there probably, but I don't have the special ones in yet. But I'll be working on that. 74 kilometers above Earth and falling. And we're starting to decrease speed pretty fast now. Man, these views of this plasma are really cool. I just seen some plasma coming from the other side. Yep, there it is. See, we're getting some plasma from this side now. Some breakaway stuff. This is almost all blue from something falling apart. Look at 808 right there again at the hinge. That's the weak area. We lost a couple tiles there. We're coming down. We're almost to 70 kilometers. I think, personally, I mean, you know, Virgin Aerospace, it created the feather wing, if you remember that a few years back. And because of the feather wing, there was no re-entry problems. None of this superheat buildup and stuff, because it slowed down the vehicle to such a speed that it was able to re-enter without all of this problem. I think that's the secret, is to slow down, somehow slow down the ship more. I mean, if it wasn't going 24,000 kilometers per hour, wouldn't it create less friction? Let's see what they're saying. Oh, they don't have anything going on.
So we're about 10 minutes until we're probably going to start hearing some of the other big milestones coming up.
Yep, in about 10 minutes, like Dan said, Starship will be transonic. This is going to be the period of flight where the velocities of airflow surrounding and flowing past the vehicle are concurrently below at and above the speed of sound, so somewhere in the range of Mach 0.8 to 1.2. For reference, commercial jets have a range of cruising speeds, but most of them fly at speeds between Mach 0.74 and Mach 0.85. So that's 480 to 575 miles per hour or 770 to 930 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, and after transonic comes subsonic. That just means you're slower than the speed of sound. We're still well in excess of that right now. But by the time we hit subsonic, we're...
So yeah, supersonic, transonic, then subsonic. I think this is the Earth right here that we're seeing rotating. And here is the... Uh-oh. What happened to our feed? There it goes. Here is the edge of the Earth right here. And that, all that stuff is breaking away, right? It's parts of the ship burning up, but hopefully it's just not enough to cause a super problem. We just went to the other side or something. There's, so you can see all of that. Look at that, right? And then this is the bottom coming off the bottom fins. So it's the fin areas are really what are creating all the, look at this. So you see this whole thing, see the fin here, it's up. They tried to pull it, put it in a different place so that it wouldn't create so much of that and so much heat, but this is way cool. See this? Oh gosh, we're just seeing whole big pieces fly off. Of course, you know, we've already made super history today with this. Already got super history today with this.
You can definitely
We got
see
a lot of atmosphere to get through, yeah.
Yeah, you can see some small particles coming off of the both the flap and the skirt, some sparks flying.
I have faith in it. I have faith in it. Just like the last one that splashed down, it burned all to hell and came right.
Oh, cussing. We don't want that. There we go.
Ship 37 here. I do not want to have its job.
5.5 minutes in, you can see the sun is up. Again, we intentionally designed these flights to lift off in the evening here so we get these daylight views so we can get as good a video as possible on the ship, assuming we make it all the way down. We've got at least one buoy powered by Starlink that's out there in the landing zone in the Indian Ocean, hopefully giving us a view again. If you see any live views, not from the ship itself, that means we nailed our landing target.
Starship is past peak heating.
Okay, so it's past peak heating.
To give you that we're past peak heating, so things are looking good so far.
So we're really starting to slow down fast now.
If you want to have a reference, anybody who's been on an airplane before, that is way higher than this, and the clouds move way slower when you're looking out the window. Here, you're double the height easily, even 5 times the height right now, actually.
So yeah, we can see it clearly. And we're getting close.
In on one of our flaps. We got one of these cameras on all 4 of the flaps, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, giving us really good close-up views.
We're getting pretty close down to...
As we obviously don't have a camera that can see the entire heat shield. These give us kind of the best that we can do. But looking at those flaps is really, those are just, you know, super critical for controlling the ship. You have some ability to maneuver kind of cross range. So as you're coming in, you can see.
But you can see that plasma. Let's see, the plasma heated that up, and this is all burning stuff that you see jettisoning off there. That's plasma right there coming off. That's pretty cool. This is what I like is this little plasma thing here, and then this is, now that we're in the atmosphere, creating an ozone trail.
Should be just about 5 minutes away until we hear that we're transonic.
So we're an hour into this, and we're looking at this thing is just that. There goes that whole big chunk. See that? And a whole big chunk just blew away. So
Still a little bit toasty on the aft skirt of the vehicle as we continue coming in.
So that's not going to work,
Again,
obviously.
we are intentionally stressing the flaps so we can learn all we can.
All right, so now we're already well past peak heating.
Still got quite a bit of plasma coming though.
Just about 48,
cooled down
49,
that much yet.
counting down to 48 kilometers in altitude. Expecting that transonic to come, so transitioning between the speed of sound and subsonic lower than the speed of sound in just a little under 4 minutes from now. And right now we've got kind of a lot of forward momentum, a lot of forward velocity, and then eventually by the time we hit subsonic. All right, here we go. So this is what we've been talking about, where we are going to essentially try to fully deploy those aft flaps and really stress them out. So again, this is meant to test the extremes for the vehicle.
There they are. They're still working, even though they're burned up so badly.
All right.
Look at that.
See those flaps swinging out? Again, we're putting ship through the ringer on this flight in. It's like we're still maintaining control.
It's flying pretty well. You
All
gotta
right,
say.
Flaps earning their paycheck today, getting through kind of that max stressing.
Definitely things looking good so far. We're about 2 minutes out now from Starship becoming transonic.
One cool thing to note as we get some of those views showing kind of the whole length of the ship, one of the changes we made after Flight 6 was to change the tile line a little bit. So we had kind of scaled back the number of tiles significantly, as when we go to catch these ships, you don't want to, I think as Elon said, you don't want to shuck the ship as you catch it and knock all those tiles off. So we knew we were going to have to kind of peel back that layer a little bit. And the first time we did it was on Flight 6, and we saw kind of wrinkling and dimples almost in the ship as we were creating these hot spots in the uneven parts of the heat shield. We, to kind of address that, we smoothed it out. That's why you've got kind
really
of that nice
right
smoothed
there,
out
too.
black line now on the ship. And just looking at it, we can see kind of a little bit of hot spot, a little bit of warping almost. Near the payload door, you can see a little bit of colored patina up above it,
too.
but we don't see those kind of deep, almost, they almost look like gouges on that. So it looks like that's been pretty successful. So, all right, we are less than a minute away from hitting transonic. Again, pretty soon our forward velocity is going to look like it's kind of falling off a cliff, and Starship will look like it's falling off a cliff as we essentially go into our belly flop. If you watched some of the high altitude tests or suborbital campaigns, we were able to test that. It was a pretty fundamental, like, can this thing actually fly? And we were able to prove that out with that.
Just look over here real quick, see if there's anything going on that we don't. Yeah, they're all just giving you the same stuff I am. Takes a second for the sound to come back on. Oh, hold it here for a second.
I'm really interested on that landing burn with that little event that happened in the skirt.
Exactly. Fingers
Under the
crossed
speed
those
of sound.
raptors relight.
Belly
at
flop
that.
coming up. Look at that.
Almost, they're almost at, look at that speed, so slow at this point.
It is pretty much horizontal at this point. This is incredible. Under 1,000 kilometers per hour. Pretty much only vertical velocity right now for ship 37. The first Block 2 starship to make it to this point of flight.
We are now airplane altitude.
This is the first time.
SpaceX is basically waiting right now.
This is the first time that Starship V2 has
and
made
the
it
burn.
this far.
So we're only using those 3 center Raptor engines, the sea levels, the ones that can kind of gimbal,
First
that can
time
move
that
around
they
and
have
steer.
made it this far with V2. This is
Dipping
historic.
the nose down a little bit.
We can see they're repositioning it a little bit.
Got 2 of our engines chilled in, waiting on 1 more. So again, we'll attempt to use 3 burns for that initial flip. We eventually go down to just 2 Raptors for the end of the landing burn.
So hopefully it won't blow up this time. This is where we want. This is the big test right here.
Just about 1 minute now from that landing flip and landing burn start.
1 minute away. Come on, you can do it. We're getting into the clouds now. So we're out of the exosphere and getting into the mesosphere.
Structurally, we're looking good. Got good pressures in our nose cone for everything. Just about 30 seconds. So again, we're going to look for the flip. So Starship's doing its belly flop right now. We're going to do the flip. Swing out. Let's punch through some clouds first.
There it is.
Here we
Here
go.
we go.
Starship landing burn startup.
Landing burn startup. Here we go. Come on, you can do it. I see
Seeing
fire.
3 engines.
I'm not seeing any engines there.
There's
but I'm
our
seeing
flip.
Fire. There's the flip, and here's the landing.
There's a buoy.
Look at that.
There's a splashdown.
Oh, it blew up.
Hey.
There it is.
Oh, man. Yeah. Farewell, Ship 37. Thank you, buoy cam. Landing flip, landing burn. Splash out of the Indian Ocean. There we go. All right. That was pretty awesome.
Incredible.
That was totally amazing. So we got to watch the entire thing. You can go back and look at it if you want. We'll see if we can go back and maybe I got to rush out because I have a job I have to go do, but here, let's just look at it real quick. Listen,
And everyone here and around the company, so many employees have contributed enormously to the Starship program as we continue to iterate and make progress towards a multi-planetary future. So that's going to wrap it up for us here in Hawthorne. Thank you to everyone for tuning in today. It was great being with you today. Back to you guys.
All right. So that was pretty cool. Let's see what these guys are saying.
The program.
Let's go to the Rocket Ranch.
So everybody got to see it. Let's just back it up for a second. And we'll just rewatch it.
And for the belly flop.
Whoa! There's a buoy.
Woo! Yeah!
Wow. There's a splashdown. Hey.
All right, pretty amazing. Major history today for the United States and for SpaceX as V2 makes it all the way to space. The booster rocket comes back and splashes down properly. The ship itself goes up and it does the relight. It does the payload distribution. It does the return. It splashes down safely. And it made it all the way, of course, no catch, but it made it all the way, all objectives attained. So that's pretty amazing. Congratulations, SpaceX. Congratulations, Elon. And that was awesome, right? That was awesome to watch. And now we're going to be going on to flight 11. It'll probably be pretty fast. Hopefully it won't be as long as the big wait as that last. So the tyranny of the blowing up spaceships hopefully is over for good. And even though we've seen the last 3 blow up, this one didn't blow up until it finished its entire job, right? Every expectation. And so it was interesting to watch all of that plasma and everything. So, hey, don't forget Jeffrey Curtis right here coming at you. And I have a schedule here. Don't forget, if you want to watch my normal live views, you can catch me any of these days that I'm showing you here, Monday through Friday, and then on Sunday with the Bible study. If you're watching on YouTube, most of them will be on the Jeffrey Curtis Music channel, except for the Bible study that's on Jeffrey Morse Ministries. If you're on Twitch or if you're on Rumble, then you just one channel there catches it all. All right. So that is all there. Thanks for joining me today. And don't forget to like and subscribe and follow and do all that stuff and comment and do all that stuff. I'm trying to get all the stuff up. I got the little avatars up. I'll try to get more of the emotes into the chat area for you. And we're just believing for great things here. Right. And I still can't believe that my little site had the very first of the takeoffs. I mean, everybody else was at least 10 seconds behind me. I don't know how that worked out, but it did. Right. So I was blessed, my little tiny site. Hey, that's pretty cool. And we're believing for great things here at By Every Word Productions. And thanks for being with us. Remember, Pulse videos, all science and space and stuff. If you haven't watched my last video that I put out right here for the Pulse science, it was the hypothesis, the spring hypothesis for the Earth. You can still look at it and comment and do all that stuff for me. It'd be a big help. For a creator, the best pay is that somebody actually watches it and likes it or doesn't like it and comments and stuff. If nobody watches it, then I'm wasting my time. Just like this, I'm taking all this time to stream this. I could watch it on my own, but I want to share it with you. So like, subscribe, all that stuff. If you would like to support the channel and all the vision, go to any one of those new videos, look in the description, and you'll see at least 4 links, different ways that you can give and help out. All right. Thanks again. Have a wonderful day, and we'll catch you tonight. I'm going to be late, by the way, on tonight's live feed, which is Tuesday is music production, writing music inside of a DAW. And so because everything is squeezed so tight that I probably am not going to be back by 7, but I will give it my best shot. All right. Thanks again. We'll see you later.